Hello my friend, how are you? Feel free to let me know in the comments down below if you like. But I hope you and your family are doing really well and keeping healthy as always. So I wanted to talk about the movie Snow White that just came out in theaters, and I just saw it last night, but I know that it premiered most likely last month. And I was fortunate enough to see it, and I have some thoughts to it. So to go with this topic, I am using the I Heart Revolution Snow White palette. That was just perfect. It has blushes on this side, and then over here would be the eyeshadows. So I'm going to start off with this really dark shade right here. This is the one called Apple. It's like a red shade. And we're going to start that off with the crease. And I'll be using the Sigma E27. This one's a really beautiful brush. It looks just like that. This one is called Detailed Blending. Now I did arrived to the movie theater a little bit late, so I was not able to see like the beginning of the movie. I think I was just I think I missed it by 10 minutes. But I did think that there was like a lot of singing, which is pretty standard in a Disney movie. I thought some of the songs were pretty fun to listen to, and actually I really love how they incorporated the original songs into like what we're familiar with growing up. I thought they did such a great job with that, especially when it's been a while since pretty much I've seen a Disney movie like that. And so I thought that was very, very fun. Like they had the dwarves, the seven dwarfs, singing the I ho to I think it goes like that melody where they're off to work they go, and the other one is to clean with Snow White singing that. And I thought it was just so it just brought back memories of actually remembering those scenes. What I thought was very interesting with the I Ho Off to Work We Go song, they actually introduced each dwarf by their name. And I thought that was really cool because I don't think in the original they did that. Like initially, before seeing this movie, I did already know like the main dwarfs. So I already knew Doc, Dopey, Grumpy, and Sleepy. But then all the other ones, I forgot. And so like watching this movie, I found that there was, okay, so for total, it would be Doc, Sneezy, Grumpy, Happy, Bashful, Sleepy, and Dopey. And so I thought all the characters were very unique, and they did such a good job representing who they were and their characteristics and their personalities. But one thing that stood out from the movie that makes it different from the original is the how Snow White's love interest is not a prince. And I think in the movie, the original movie, there is a prince. So he was not a prince, and he came out throughout almost the whole movie with Snow White. Versus the original, the prince only came out like a few times here and there, I believe in the beginning, and then the end. But for this movie, he was pretty much like alongside Snow White. They pretty much helped each other with situations where they needed help, and so they would help one another throughout the movie. Okay, so now I'm going to take this shade right here. This one's called Steal a Kiss. Right here. And I'll take my Prolux K805. So right, he was very present throughout the movie, and we also got to see other characters as well. And then for the Queen, I thought that they did such a well job with her makeup. I thought her makeup was outstanding. It was very bold, but I thought the eyeshadows they used throughout different scenes in the movie, it was very detailed with what she was wearing in her outfit. But I thought that it was just very, very bold. The colors were like pretty smoky and dark. But I thought it was very, very good. Like, I noticed that in one scene, she had like a green sparkly eyeshadow all over the lid. But it was like a duochrome, and I thought, wow, that is amazing how it got captured on camera. And I thought it was just a very outstanding work, whoever did that. As well as Snow White's, I thought hers was done well too. It's just, for her, it was more like on the natural side. And then for the Evil Queen, she was very dramatic and bold and dark. Okay, so now I'm going to take this shade right here. This one is called Whistle While You Work. And I'm just going to put it on my brow bone. And I'll put it like on my inner corner as well. I could definitely say that throughout the movie there was some funny scenes, and I thought that it definitely brought out some laughs that was like kind of random, which is always fun. Especially like when the dwarfs are not getting along or there's like a mishap happening. I thought that was fun touch to what they included. Okay, so I am really tempted to get this shade right here called Red as a Rose for all over my lid. But I think that it's going to come off a bit dark. Okay, but we'll still use the red. we're gonna use that shade all over the lid. And I could probably put like a highlighter on top to make it a bit lighter. Okay, let's make it a little bit later. So I will be taking Poison Apple. This is like a highlighter shade and it's like a light pink. I'll put it like on top. So I would say throughout the whole movie, they did such a great job with the storyline in terms of sticking to the original, but they did change it up quite a bit. And I would say that the ending was definitely extended compared to the original. So it did make the movie a bit longer than what it was supposed to be. But it was okay, you know, I did not mind that. Okay, that looks a little better. Now it looks like a pink red. Okay, so for my last shade, I'll be taking this one right here for my inner corner. And that one is called Snow White. So I believe that if you're a Disney lover, I could highly recommend watching this movie. You won't be disappointed because every time Disney comes out with a live action version of the original, they somehow always do it pretty good. I have seen the one with Beauty and the Beast, Emma Watson as Belle. I thought that one was pretty nice. I remember I watched it on the premiere during the night. I thought that was really cool. And then I did see Aladdin in the movie theaters, and I thought they did such a superb job with that one. I remember laughing a lot on one scene that happened, and I almost felt like I could not stop laughing. But that's one thing I remember in the Aladdin movie. I thought it was just too funny in one scene, and I couldn't help myself but to try to control myself with not laughing too much with Aladdin. You know, Snow White, it was not like that. They didn't have like a scene that makes you laugh uncontrollably. But yeah, I believe the only one I have not seen yet is Cinderella, and I believe that one is in Disney Plus, but I have never gotten to see it in theaters when it came out. But I do know that they have a live action movie for that one. And then upcoming in the summer, we're going to have Lilo and Stitch, which I'm so excited. I am definitely going to be seeing that one. Okay, so now I am officially done with my eye look. Now we're going to be using a blush highlighter combination. So I'll be taking this shade right here. This one is called The First Princess. This really bold red pink shade, And I'm going to be mixing it with the Colourpop Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. This is Colourpop Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So this is like the highlighter, and it's called Jingle, Jingle, Jingle. And I'll be taking the Sonia Kashak blush brush. So this is going to be really bold, but we're going to kind of tone it down on the back of my hand. Oh yeah, it's bold. A little went a long way. So yeah, what I'm trying to do is a blush highlighter, just like what they're doing with Fenty Beauty. They came out with like these new ones that I really want. So I'm just trying to see like if I could have like that same effect without buying it. I love shopping my stash just because it prevents me from not buying what I need, especially for this year. I really want to make it a goal to not buy too much makeup. Okay, so lastly for this look, I'll be taking the lip gloss that came with the palette. This one is called Mirror Mirror on the Wall. It's like a really pretty ruby red shade. I thought the colors that the actress wore throughout the movie was a beautiful red color because it was not completely red. It was more like a wearable red color, but this one is pretty opposite from what she was wearing in the movie. Okay, my friends, so this is my final look. So I hope you enjoyed watching, my friend. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope that you enjoyed what I had to say for this movie. I highly recommend that you go see it because I think if you love Disney, you are not going to be disappointed. And I know sometimes it gets like a bad rap when it's like a remake, but I think it's like a great opportunity when someone has never seen Snow White and they watch this movie. You'll get a perspective of what it's about with and the original from Walt Disney. And also it does bring back memories of those that have seen Snow White growing up. I always thought it was just pretty, it was just, for me, I remember watching it in school sometimes. My classmates would be so funny about it, like, and then it would make me think, like, why did she bite the apple? Like, how could you be so naive? Like, but it was just like, it was just so funny, like, thinking of those things. But overall, like, you get to have a sense of the characters, but more importantly, you get to see Snow White's courage with how she's presented in this movie, because in the original, she's more of like a timid lady, and with this version, it's kind of like the opposite from her personality. Not a complete opposite, but I would say it does present her as being pretty much outspoken, and in the original she was more quiet. So I would say that's like a major difference But overall, I think if you love Disney movies, I think you'll enjoy this one. And I know I wasn't disappointed, but I do think that these are great ways to reminisce how these Disney movies were like back then, and it's really great for just new generations to watch them. I also have forgotten that I have seen The Little Mermaid, the live action, in theaters as well, and I thought that one was really good too. Just like as a side note. So thank you, my friend, for watching. May God bless always. I hope you have a good day or night, whatever time you are watching. And I hope to see you soon in my other video whenever I upload it. Take good care. I love you. And I will see you then. Bye.